Looks like a fecal impaction.
Was it bad? Easy.
Why, hello. My name is Dineta Williams-Trigg. I'm an actor, director, festival director, producer, and I'm located right now in Phoenix, Arizona.
Hello, this is Gauthier, director, filmmaker, producer, and I'm talking to you from Paris right now.
Hello, hello. And we are really excited to have a claymation master today to start us off with our first episode entitled The Art of Claymation. We have the wonderful Brad Uyeda with us today. Brad, welcome. Hello, hello.
Hello, Brad.
Hello. How are you guys?
We're
Good.
great. We are wonderful. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
I'm originally from California, born and raised, Fresno, California to be precise, farm town agriculture. After high school, went to San Francisco, to the Bay Area, went to San Francisco State University and started my education and somehow went from fine art to sneaking into the cinema department into the animation program and fell in love with animation. And after graduating, I've been doing it ever since.
Wonderful. That is
Cool.
marvelous. Absolutely. You know, claymation is such an art, and it really started like the first claymation film was like, I think 1897.
Yeah,
But I can remember growing up with claymation. Remember Gumby?
Gumby.
Gumby, I think was really my first introduction into claymation. So, so tell us a little bit about um, what interested in you in claymation, like why claymation instead of regular filmmaking,
Yeah.
narrative filmmaking.
Um,
And what is claymation? Just to
Oh
start,
yeah, good
an
question.
introduction for
Stop
people.
motion, I guess, would be a better term for it. Would be stop
Okay.
motion. So you have two-dimensional drawing, hand drawing, animation, page by page by page, frame by frame is hand drawn. And then there's stop motion, which is inanimate objects like these guys behind me that you move painstakingly, one motion at a time, frame by frame, 24 frames per second. When I was in the program at San Francisco State, she put us through, my professor put us through all the different mediums. And I found that sculpting with clay, I was a lot faster, and I liked, and the speed I could work with was more to my liking. I Ever since I saw Chuck Jones demonstrate how to do hand-drawn animation, I just kind of rolled my eyes at age 8 going, oh my God, I love it, but I don't want to do that. So when I got into the program, I was like, all right, I'll give it another shot. I can do it. I just don't, it's not my favorite, but because clay, I can go back to it. I can touch it. I can touch it. I can touch it. And so I'm a lot faster than drawing line over line and then flipping it. Where by the time I've done that, I've already done maybe 4 more frames of stop motion. So it was just faster for me. And I'm always eager to have a final product a lot sooner than drawing background drawings and then coloring it and then inking it, where these things are already ready to go. I've built the set, I've built the objects, and I can go.
Do you
So
have a
it's
lot
just-
of these guys over your house?
Yeah. You should see my trash can after each production.
I mean, there's so much work that
Yeah.
is involved in this art. I feel like a person has to be almost like a masochist to want to have to do that. Like, so I mean, I would not have the patience. I just wouldn't.
Yeah, I guess, yeah, it requires a lot of patience either way. In either medium of animation, it requires a lot of patience.
Mhm.
Even people that sit at their computer for days on end, for years on end, producing a feature film for Disney. I mean, and they're sitting there with the same character for a year. I mean you must have patience. even sculpting and rigging and coloring and all the different departments.
Mm. Yeah.
Wonderful.
What's your inspiration? Like, do you wake up one morning and you say, today I'm gonna do like 2 small monsters or 2 small, like, what's your inspiration?
It's usually like an idea or it's a technique that I would see, because I watch a lot of films. I watch a lot of horror films, and I'm, and I haven't seen them all, so I can't even say that I've seen every horror film ever made, but I've seen a lot, and I keep, as more keep becoming available, I'll watch. But as I go through the 70s and 80s, there are techniques there that I try to pull off now, because with our technology we can. And so sometimes I'll see something like, can I do that? Can I pull that off? And so then that'll be my inspiration for a little 10-second test that I'll do and post. It's just me saying, can I do that? Like I think I did the cotton candy trick from the Killer Clowns from Outer Space. That was like, can I pull that off? It required hand. I had to go in there in Photoshop and make the effect hand. I did by hand, draw it in there and then color it, but I got the effect that it pretty close to the original, so it's just things like that, techniques. Or I'll see a film, I'll see a stop motion film, I'm like, can I do that? Can I pull that off? How did they, even just the lighting, I was like, I just want to try the lighting, that dual lighting, triple lighting, the types of lighting that they do, that will be, that's all it takes. Or it's a creature in my head, I'm like, I haven't seen that on film yet. Can I do that? So then I'll try.
Yeah, this is interesting. I think, like, Dineta and I, this is one of the most important criterion we choose. Look, because when we look at movies, when we watch movies from all over the world, I think originality is one of the most criterion that we search for in movies. So it's super important, and we are filmmakers as well. So I think originality. This is, each time I have like an idea, so I called Anita and I was like, I haven't seen this in a movie, have you? Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Originality, and I think stop motion is so original. Do you have, Brad, any stop motion creators that you really watch? Like, I remember watching growing up, is it Harry Rasmussen? Is that how you pronounce his last name? Who did a lot of stop motion?
Harryhausen.
Okay, Hausen.
Ray Harryhausen.
Yeah, Ray Harryhausen. Yes. Were you like a fan of his? Do you ever watch his
Absolutely.
stuff? Yeah.
The Jason the Argonauts like blew
Yes.
my mind. And then I was
Mhm.
like, I need to find more of this. And then you watch his Eye of the Tiger, the Sinbad, and then he's all of his films. The Clash of the Titans, I remember I was just blown away as a child by the Kraken and all the creatures that he made, this army of skeletons. I mean, it was so memorable,
Yes.
So yeah, he's definitely an inspiration, and it was a pleasure because he's passed on, but I was lucky enough to meet him when he put out a book back in, I want to say 2001, and it was nice to actually get to meet him, shake his hand, tell him how much I appreciated his work at the time. I mean, he was pretty old, but it was an honor.
Absolutely. And I can imagine, I mean, when he was doing it, it was really just labor intensive.
Cutting edge.
So yeah. So absolutely. Do you have any contemporaries that you really like their work as far as stop motion goes right now, today, in the 21st century?
Leica's always been producing wonderful stop motion, so I like everything that comes out of that studio. It's all stop motion, and they're doing, which I'm fascinated by, and it's my next endeavor is 3D printing, the 3D printing faces and facial expressions. I mean, they're just cranking them out, and it looks so elegant and amazing. So I'm blown away by the work that they're producing right now, quite a bit. Yeah.
Great. Yeah, so we know that you have several commercials. You have several award-winning commercials. So tell us about the commercial experience and a few of the awards that you've been given.
The recent one was the Vineyard. That was for a snack company in Oklahoma. They're a little starter company, the Spicy Snack Company,
Mhm.
and they're actually family. So when I reached out to them and said I could do something for you, and so I did. It was fun. It was a fun experience. Normally when I do commercials with other companies, it's a little, being family, it was a lot easy to talk about it, negotiate, and they kind of just let me have free reign, which I really appreciate. Otherwise you've got notes and specifics, and they want it this way, and they, even some of the companies, they want to, you need to spend this much, even though I'm like, hey, I could save you a lot of money, I could do it for this much. No, we want to spend this much, we want to spend $20,000 on this thing, so you're gonna have to final, so make a bigger thing, or do this, or spend money on this. It's like they want to spend the money. I'm like, don't we want to save the money? So I like working with smaller independent, mom and pop companies, and even musicians. I like working with a lot of musicians because they're more down to earth. They're not trying to like create this super expensive music video, So I like working with the small home bands that aren't there yet, because then they're like, whatever you want to do, we trust you.
Cool. That's cool. Yeah. And do you think that people, there is audiences for your movies? Or do you feel that people are attracted more to drama, to claymation, to horror?
I think it is the current culture right now, because of everything that has happened in the last several years, that horror, and it's statistically proven that when there's such crisis within our country, that the level of horror viewings go up. It's like I think like the fourth or fifth most watched types of films during that periods of time in our nation's history. People want to watch more horror, the escapism, the comfort in seeing situations worse than what they're currently in. They want to see that. They want to know, okay, I can't be as bad as what's happening to this person here. But horror does have skyrocketed as far as popularity goes when our country is usually in the situation it is.
Yeah. Well, in lockdown, I can speak to myself. I've watched more horror and thriller. Yeah, I don't know why. Yeah.
It's just our nature, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, the pandemic. I'm so glad that you touched on the pandemic. How have you been dealing with, like, do you feel like you've been more creative through 2020 and the pandemic, and sort of being on lockdown, that it has given you more inspiration?
Yes, I would have to say that. I've done more screenwriting, script writing scripts, creating new characters, new stories. I've come up with more ideas during the pandemic. I've been less busy as far as the business side of things. I've had to turn down some things because I'm not able to do any of that at the time. It's just no time. We've got everything going on with the pandemic, and being stuck at home has been a little down on that ends. But as far as personally, yeah, I've created, and my drawings, my art, I'm ready to go. I've got stuff backed up now. I have voice recordings made for films I haven't even started yet. I'm on it. I'm ready to get this new year started and start cranking new projects out, and more new collaborations.
Yeah. And how much time does it take for you to prepare like a movie or a short movie? How much time, like in pre-production?
In the pre-production,
Yeah.
It's the set building. The set building will take quite a bit of time. It'll take a couple weeks for me to design it, measure it, get the materials out, and then start building the world. And as I'm building it, I make changes based off of where I think I want to place the camera, and and then deciding whether or not I want to be able to remove a wall or be able to lift the ceiling up to bring the camera in, camera down, kind of thing. So it takes a little bit longer as I'm building the set because I'm coming up with new angles and types of shots. So then I have to readjust my construction to accommodate that. And then just creating the creatures. Once all that's done, the animation part goes fairly quickly for me once I get everything in place. So it's really the pre-production that's the most time consuming.
So you shoot the movie, or do you ask for someone else to shoot it?
I shoot my films, I shoot the whole thing myself.
Okay. Do you think it's better when you're an artist to do the pre-production and then to do the production as well?
It depends. As long if you have total creative control, then yes. But it's nice to have people working with you. It's nice to be able to just do the animation and someone else can click a button or adjust the camera or do it's nice to have a team. But with the pandemic and all, I've been kind of doing everything, wearing every hat, doing all of it, the lighting, the cinematography, but it's nice to have a team. And usually I do have several people on deck to help me out with that as much as possible. It's we need socializing, and we need, teach other people how to do what you do, so we can pass this art form on.
Sure. Yeah,
Absolutely. Well, I know that one of the things that I really appreciate about your art is the darkness. I mean, because I'm a big horror fan as well. And when I saw your stuff, I was just, blown away. You have a piece called Dr. Grossology or Dr. Grossologist. I think it's like my absolute favorite. And I was telling Gauthier about it, and he saw it too, I believe, because we look at the same films when we're, programming for the festival. So that's, I think, what I appreciated the most was, hey, he's part of my tribe, man. He likes the darkness too. So yeah, it was really exciting. Yeah.
Well, thank you.
Very exciting. Very exciting. Also, another thing that I really like about you is I feel like you're an activist. You pay attention to what's going on in the world.
Yeah.
And that's really important as well, because, art imitates life. And so I appreciate that about you as well. And please, keep shouting, from the top of the mountains. Please keep making your voice heard. Because I feel like there's, right now what's going on in the United States with all of the Asian attacks is we have to speak up. The artists, the content creators, the musicians, the art. We just need to speak up and just say that that's wrong and that we're not going to stand by and silently, So I really admire that about you.
Oh, thank you. All of that has just truly inspired me in my writing and in what's to come. I think almost every project I've got now in queue to start working on from this point on are all going to have some type of tone and tell a story straight from the headlines and everything that's been happening in this world, from the Black Lives Matter to the ICE facilities to the Asian hate. I've got shorts already written and ready, and I've got 3 already voice recorded.
We want to see them.
I know.
Yeah,
I know.
Yeah.
You will. I've finished this one, and then I'm on to the next one.
Hey, and if you ever need voice actors, we both volunteer, right?
Oh, okay. I'll keep that in mind.
Gauthier, yes. So what I don't, and I really appreciate that. I want to end on a lighter note, though.
Sure.
So let's talk about what you're working on right now, what you have coming up. We'll make sure that we include links to the studio so that people can reach out to you. And because it's important to get you and your work out there.
Oh, thank you. wrapping up my werewolf short that I've got coming up.
Yeah.
Then after that, I don't know if we touched base on my horror short about Revivified. It's a homage to 80s with current Black Lives Matter. So I have a character who's reanimated, who's going to come back to life and avenge corrupt police brutality in a way. I got a wonderful rapper composer from Oakland to score it. It sounds amazing. I'm so excited, and the voice recording's ready to go. I'm just waiting on my effects guy who made the werewolves to finish making her character, and then that's the very next thing I'm working on right after I wrap up this one, which shouldn't be much too long. And then I have another one that I just finished recording with a horror director actually who just turned voice actress. Recorded my main character for the one after that, about a creature that was created in the bowels of an ice facility. I'm pretty excited about that one, and her voice was just when you hear it, you're like, wow. So that's what I've got lined up at the moment, and then there's everyone after that is already being sketched out and drawing on that. And then in the meantime, as I'm doing this personal one, I'm also writing a feature I'm going to do on the Japanese World War II, the 442nd, all Japanese battalion. I found a producer, so I've got to write this script now to do that. And then
you did the hardest part. You found the producer, right?
Yeah, I found a producer who wants to make this thing. He says now's the time, and so I'm researching and writing the feature for that one as we speak. Probably work on it today. And then I also have another studio from the UK wants to do a Christmas stop motion film, but they're where I'm at now. They're still writing the script, so I'm just waiting for the script to let them know when we can start on that. So
busy schedule. It's a busy schedule.
Yeah. So I'm excited for 2021. Lots going on.
It's good to see, positive people.
Yeah.
And busy people, because 2020, 2021, well.
Yeah, it was rough for a lot of people. It still is rough for a lot of people.
And how can people get in contact with you? Do you have a website? Do you have Facebook page, maybe?
I don't have a Facebook page up right now. I took it down because I wanted to revamp it, because I took it down after my Kickstarter campaign. So I'm gonna redo it and put it back up. Right now, my Instagram is probably the main link, which will take you to my link tree, which has all of my other links that you can go to and check out those pages. So I'll send it to you guys, and then you guys can let everyone else.
Yeah, sure. We're going to include it in the description. Yeah.
Perfect.
Absolutely. So one last tidbit.
Sure.
What would you give? What kind of advice would you give to people who are interested in stop motion, and how they could maybe begin? Where do they start? What kind of, classes or education they would need?
The nice thing about now is you can YouTube pretty much every technique. From if you want to learn how to do the cast puppet cast, there's tutorials, there's materials. The materials companies make tutorials on how to do it. It's like Smooth-Ons is a good company. They tell you how to do it. You can find all of this on YouTube. Aardman starting classes. If you want to pay for classes and learn it that way, they can do it that way. Aardman is the one that do Wallace and Gromit. And their stop motion company, Shaun of the Sheep, whatnot. But really, you just need to have a camera. You can use your iPhone now. iPhones have a stop motion app. You can download free apps. There's plenty of places to start, and stop motion's not hard. You can just grab a couple of toys. You can get your G.I. Joes, get your Barbies, get your Polly Pockets, Legos. Legos is a big one to start with. Get your Legos and just start snapshotting away. Just remember, it's 24 frames in 1 second.
Wow, that is technology today
Yeah.
It's
I
incredible.
wish it had that when I was a kid.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Gauthier, do you have any other questions? Brad, you're wonderful. Thank you
yeah,
so
it's
much for being
super
here.
interesting.
Oh no, this was fun. Thanks.
Yeah.
Exactly. I cannot stop looking at the creatures behind you. It's just, can we have, yeah, can you get them?
Oh, and show us. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Up close. Yeah.
Hello.
Oh my goodness. And it's huge. In the back, it looks really small, but it's huge.
Wow.
How tall is
If she stands straight up, she's about 20 inches.
uh-huh.
Yeah. Her human form is only about 12, so I want her to be more menacing when she transforms.
Beautiful.
She's beautiful.
Yeah.
I think you should name her Dineta.
And the other one, Gauthier.
Yeah, the other one. The other
There
one.
you go.
Yeah, that's right. The other one. Can we see
I'll
the other one?
remember
Is
that
there
when
another one back there? Is there
Yeah, there's
another one back
another
there? Or is she okay?
Oh yeah, there's several. My cord's not that very long on my headphones. There you go.
So yeah, that's Gauthier right there.
With all the hair.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's
Absolutely
beautiful. Wow.
And so you created them, right? I mean, you.
No. These guys, I had Midnight Studio Effects here in Phoenix. He made these.
Okay.
He makes some amazing werewolves. So I wanted a really cool looking werewolf. So I reached out to him and he promised me he's gonna make me an all black one and an albino one too. So I'll have more than one eventually. more and more next time you guys see.
Yeah. Good. Absolutely beautiful.
Yeah. Well, personally, I cannot wait to see the upcoming short movie you're gonna send us to the film festival.
Yeah.
Well, absolutely.
Yeah.
You guys will be the first to see it.
Ooh, I like it.
Yeah, I'll send you a link when it's all done.
The first to screen it, I hope as well.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
It's my business, so.
Yeah, that's right. And you know what, Brad? There's always a place at the table for you. You know what? Come along on this adventure.
Sure.
It's crazy adventure. I'm sure there'll be a lot of laughter, a lot of tears. Creatives, we all want to talk at the same time. Share our ideas. There's always room. We want to be inclusive and include.
Sure. Count me in whatever you guys need.
Okay, and it just makes it life much more interesting. You know
Right?
what I mean?
Yeah.
And you know what? The one thing that I really liked, explain to me, because you had a studio about 3 years ago before you started Savmo, and I wanted to get that also, your explanation on why you sort of switched gears with your studio. Yeah, I wanted to get that in as well.
Yeah, after I graduated, I started calling my company Kestrel Animation. It's a smallest bird of prey. It's like a little tiny hawk, and that was what I was calling myself for most of my freelance. And then there was this moment where I was just like, I don't want to do all this cookie cutter, cute animation. It's what everybody was doing. Everyone was like Nickelodeon, Disney. Everybody was trying to just do cute PPS, and that just wasn't me until I was just, this is what I love. This is my genre. This is what I like doing. I like doing what nobody else is doing. And so then I was like, so then I just was trying to come up with a name that I really liked, and Savage Motion just came to mind, and that's what I've been calling it in Savmo for short, just because Savage Motion is too long for me to say sometimes when I'm talking about it.
Yeah, I really liked that story. I liked your story, and you're absolutely correct. And I love your Fangoria T-shirt, by the way.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. Is there anything else that you wanted to say? Anything that you wanted our viewers to know about you and Savmo Studios, and maybe what your whole mission is with Savmo Studios?
I just want to start telling stories and have my voice heard on an artistic level. I think after this whole pandemic and everything that has happened in this country, I think I just want to start using my talent to be a voice, and use my visual talent as a weapon, if you may. Just something that people can see, something can get behind, and show them things that I'm sure people wish they could see. Stories I wish they probably were like, yeah, that's something we want out there.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Gauthier, you get to ask the last question. You ready?
I am.
Do it.
Well, I want to talk about the importance of being an artist and being involved as well in the activism sphere. Just because we meet a lot of artists who want to stay neutral and who want to just stay objective and outside of everything and what. I just want to know, what do you think about being an artist? Like, how could you be an artist and not be committed or engaged to anything?
I think for some, it's the business aspect that makes them switch on the safe hat, because they don't want to lose business. And then in this day and age with social media being so, it can just make or break and destroy you in a matter of hours and days if they wanted to. They could take to Twitter, they could take to whatever, and they can just pound you to the point where you just want to close all your accounts for saying one thing, for voicing one opinion. And I think that some artists want to stay safe because maybe that's their bread and butter, and they don't want to put that in jeopardy. Maybe, I don't know. But then there's artists, like myself and other artists that they'd rather be a starving artist and be heard than just be, I'm just gonna go with the flow and take everybody's money.
Okay. Yeah.
I totally agree.
I like that. The safe thing. Yeah, the safety alarm. Yeah.
Yeah, they just kind of switch. You know what? I'm just gonna stay here because I like my income, and I don't want to put that in jeopardy because I don't want to have to go work at a coffee shop next month for posting something that it's gonna have everybody angry. But it's not everybody. I like coffee too. It's what I live on when I'm working, burning the midnight oil.
Exactly.
Yeah, we can relate.
Yeah. I would rather work at a bar. Dineta, you do the coffee, the
I'll
day
pour
shift.
the coffee. That's right. You could pour the drinks.
I think that I'd never get back to the studio.
Yeah.
All
Cool.
right. Well, again, Brad, I really want to thank you again today for being here with us, giving us some of your time and sharing some of your talents with us. So we just want to thank the marvelous, fantastic, creative Bradford. You prefer Brad, don't you, though? Instead of
I do.
Bradford.
I do.
Okay, the Brad Uyeda. We want to thank him for joining us today to talk about the art of slow motion picture making / claymation. All right.
Exactly.
Yeah. Thank you, Brad.
Thank
you.
Brad.
This was
and
fun.
Have a wonderful rest of your day.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, cool. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.